Welcome to World Action and Reaction News. Please press subscribe button and press bell icon if you are new to the channel. Let's start news snapshot. It all began with a two-day Defense Industry Development Meet organized by Department of Defense Production, Ministry of Defense, MOD, in Chennai on January 18, 2018, when in the presence of Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Edappadi K. Palaniswamy. Defense Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced that the next Defense Expo would be organized in Chennai between April 11 and 14, 2018. The meet's aim was to initiate the forging of new partnerships with private industry with the aim of achieving self-reliance in defense production under the Make in India initiative of the Union government, and of encouraging and facilitating participation of private industries, especially micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, in defense manufacturing. Focusing on indigenization, import substitution, and technology infusion, the event will provide private firms/companies, especially vendors from Tamil Nadu region, an overview of the existing defense procurement policy, indigenization and outsourcing procedures of defense public sector undertakings/Ordnance Factory Board, OFB, and update them on the recent government policy initiatives to promote indigenization and outsourcing and opportunities thereon. The highlights of the event were: the Department of Defense Production presented policy initiatives for supporting Indian vendors, especially MSME in the field of defense production. Defense Research and Development Organization showcased the technologies available for the private sector for commercial exploitation. The Defense Minister handed over 3 representative transfer of technology agreements of DRDO to Industry 1 each for the Army, Navy, and the Air Force. HAL, BEL, BEML, BDL, Midhani showcased over 50 products for indigenization by the industry. OFB offered more than 20 products to vendors for indigenization. MDL, GRSE, GSL showcased vendor development opportunities. Defense Minister released the simplified Make-II procedure, which stipulates relaxed eligibility criteria, minimal documentation, provisions for SUOMO-II proposals from individuals/industry, particularly for innovative solutions, and relaxed eligibility criteria for startups. This procedure envisages for assurance of order on successful development of prototype. Wings India 2018 was off to a flying start on Thursday, and Hindustan Aeronautics Limited stole the show with its 19-seater aircraft HAL Do 228-201. The state-owned aerospace and defense company brought the aircraft to showcase it to potential buyers, that's commercial airline operators, who are planning to venture into the Regional Connectivity Scheme, RCS, also called UDAN. Sources claimed the aircraft garnered a lot of interest, especially for chartered flight operations. The HAL Do 228-201 is a 19-seater twin-turboprop short takeoff and landing, STOL, utility aircraft. For small distances, a jet engine is not economical, but a twin-turboprop surely is, said Abhinav Kumar, Deputy Marketing Manager, Transport Aircraft Division, HAL. This is a military aircraft model that has been adapted for civil use. We have upgraded the engine, propeller, interior decoration, avionics with the scope for future upgrade, he added. President Donald Trump has agreed to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, the White House announced, setting the scene for an unprecedented encounter between two nations that only recently threatened to wipe each other out. The talks would be the first between a sitting U.S. president and a North Korean leader and will take place by May, according to South Korea's National Security Advisor, Chung Eui-yong, who delivered the invitation to Trump after a visit by his delegation to Pyongyang earlier this week. Chung said Kim had offered to put Pyongyang's nuclear and missile program on the table. The White House said Trump had agreed to the encounter. He will accept the invitation to meet with Kim Jong-un at a place and time to be determined, said White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders. Trump's decision, after a year in which the two have repeatedly traded insults, is a remarkable breakthrough. It brings the North Korean regime close to its long-desired aim of recognition on the international stage, and offers Trump the tantalizing prospect of a historic diplomatic victory. But the consequences of such a high-stakes gamble remain hard to predict. India and France will come up with a joint vision statement on the Indo-Pacific on the lines of a similar US-India declaration to coordinate their strategic objectives in the region during a visit by French President Emmanuel Macron starting on Friday, officials said. The ambitious blueprint envisions a trilateral naval exercise separately with the United Arab Emirates and Australia, and a logistics agreement with France for the Indian Ocean region that would give India access to French naval bases. A pact between the national security councils of the two countries to protect the security and sanctity of documents pertaining to national security will also be signed after a meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Macron on March 10, officials said. Macron will take part in the founding conference of the International Solar Alliance on March 11. The term Indo-Pacific has gained currency recently across diplomatic and security circles in the US, Australia, India and Japan as the countries devise ways to deal with an aggressive China in the region. France is an important strategic partner of India. We are both democratic countries that share common interest in the Indian Ocean and in the larger region, which is working for a free, prosperous, and inclusive Indo-Pacific region, a foreign ministry official said on condition of anonymity. Officials said the India-France cooperation would not be parallel to that among the Indo-Pacific Quad, which brings together India, the United States, Japan, and Australia. France has remained a benign power in the Indian Ocean and stood by India even during difficult times, including after the Pokhran II nuclear tests under former PM Vajpayee, said another official. Japan is seeking proposals for a new advanced jet fighter based on an existing Western aircraft and wants American and British cooperation to help kickstart development of the project, which is estimated to cost around $40 billion, three sources said. Japan this month issued a third request for information, RFI, to defense companies, seeking proposals for the new aircraft, dubbed the F-3. Unlike the first two requests, this one went only to foreign companies in the United States and Europe, with a separate, more detailed document delivered to London and Washington, according to the sources, who have direct knowledge of the requests. Japan expects specific proposals for designs based on existing aircraft, said one of the sources. The two previous RFIs did not attract any detailed proposals, he added. The requests for a design based on existing aircraft and the separate documents sent to the British and US governments have not been previously reported. The sources declined to be identified because they are not authorized to speak to the media. Existing airframes Japan could use include the F-35 Lightning II stealth jet built by Lockheed Martin Corp or Boeing Co.'s F/A-18E/F Super Hornet, and the Eurofighter Typhoon, manufactured by a European consortium including B Systems plc. Japan's last domestically produced jet fighter, the F-2, which entered service in 2000, was built jointly by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, MHI, and Lockheed Martin based on the US F-16 multi-role fighter. As Japan's leading fighter maker, MHI, which built the World War II-era A6M0, would anchor the Japanese share of the F-3 project. We are considering domestic development, joint development, and the possibility of improving existing aircraft performance, but we have not yet come to any decision, a Ministry of Defense representative said. Building Japan's next-generation fighter based on a foreign aircraft already in service could save money, but come at the expense of advanced features like stealthy shaping. Neither the Typhoon nor Super Hornet are designed to be near invisible to radar. Boeing is very interested in working with the US and Japan governments in order to collaborate with Japanese industry on the next fighter program, a Boeing spokesman said. Under the F-35 Joint Program Office's latest plan, follow-on modernization for the Joint Strike Fighter could add up to a total of $16 billion, the Defense Department's program head confirmed Wednesday. Responding to questions from lawmakers about the price of implementing the new Continuous Capability Development and Delivery Strategy, or C2D2, Vice Admiral Matt Winter acknowledged that U.S. and international customers could pay up to $10.8 billion for development and $5.4 billion for procurement of upgrades to the F-35 between fiscal years 2018 through 2024. Last September at the Defense News Conference, Winter announced that the JPO had re-envisioned the F-35's follow-on modernization plan, also known as Block 4. As a more iterative process where software updates would be pumped out every 6 months. New computing systems, sensors, and weapons would also be incorporated during the period. Out of the 53 capabilities that will be introduced during C2D2, about 80% are software-related. Winter said during a hearing on the program held by the House Armed Services Committee's Tactical Air and Land Forces Subcommittee, it's predominantly software, which is what drove us to pursue an agile, repetitive, iterative process to do quick software module updates and provide them to the warfighter, he said.